We need that song. The champ is here.
But I've never seen a 21-year-old with a mindset like yours to put an event together like this to impact people like these. So again, please clap it up. So I was probably throwing up somewhere for my 21st birthday. So salute to you.
Crazy story. I work at a tech company and he runs the studio in the building. So I was in my room doing Zoom podcasts or interviews with other dyslexic pages on Instagram. And when I was doing that, I was just doing it. I saw a little gain in followers, a little in engagement, and then I was like, well, how do I level up? So I started looking into podcasts. I started looking into, do I build a set? Do I buy things? What do I do? And I looked into studios and the benefits of a studio, right? If you do a podcast deal with Carl's studio or any studio, usually it's not the same as if I built one at my house. If I build one at my house, I'm still have to network, not even by my, like in person, but online. And now I'm stuck and I'm trying to figure everything out, but then I'm working with Carl, he's on the live, connected with Natalie Cole. I'm in the studio, I'm introduced to these people. So it's being connected with people, being connected with Carl is connected with a lot more people. But anyways, the story is that I was looking into it. I looked up the logo on your door. The door hit a floor mat, and I looked into it, and then I was trying to find out who the owner or producer was of the studio.
So he started stalking me.
Started stalking him. So I was like, all right, I'm going to talk to the next person who comes out of this office that I catch with a shirt on that says Royal on it. And 2 weeks go by, and I catch him. I'm like, I'm going to talk to him. He knows who the producer is. So then when I was talking to him, I didn't realize it, but he gave me a tour of the studio, and then we connected, and then he was just the producer. So we connected with the right guy, went right to it. And I mean, you've motivated me. I look up to you, and we've both accomplished a lot as a team.
Thank you. So that means a lot to me, but Dylan has inspired me, right? Like motivational speaking, I'm always looking for different ways to continue to level up, continue to be inspired. And I watch Dylan at events, and he is the king of networking. I've never been to an event before where millionaires and billionaires are asking, yo, who's that kid Dylan? It blew my mind that some of the greatest athletes in the world, some of the greatest entertainers in the world, some of the greatest business minds in the world, at the end of a very large business event that we went to, every single person in the room, whether they were on stage or in the audience, knew who Dylan was. And I'm like, this kid is incredible. Like, I wish I had that level of drive, desire, confidence. I'm like, I don't know how this kid does it, but I'm taking notes. So yeah, thank you, bro.
Of course. So your business structure is amazing in my eyes because you're making your dreams come true, but you're also making your clients at the exact same time. Mm-hmm. You know, I built my brand that I want to say wasn't even a brand before I came to you, and now here we are. And I've met a lot of your clients, and your clients have met me, and I've seen everybody just grow. We've built a group, and since we built that group, we've all been just bulldozing each other and just rising on that wave.
That's what it's all about, man. For me, it's all about collaboration over competition. I'm not the greatest at everything, but I can lean on you for something. You can lean on me for something. I can lean on you for something, and we can all grow together. You know, team stands for together, everyone achieves more, right? And I like to say there's no such thing as a self-made man or woman. You always reach the top with the help of others. So for me, my team is what helps me elevate. You know, collaborating and networking and connecting with business owners like yourself is what helps me get better. So it's all about working together. Where I grew up in Stamford, and where I grew up is really cutthroat. It's no one looking to help each other out. It's what we call, in Haiti, they say, chien mange chien, dog eat dog, right? I'm going to survive, even if it means cutting you off in the process. And I never liked that mentality because I was always of the mindset like, yo, I got a lot of love in my heart. I got a lot of things to achieve, but I know I can get there faster with other people.
Awesome. No, I ain't seen him.
Appreciate you, King.
No.
Oh.
So, with that being said, you have a lot of clients coming in and out of
Right.
and you meet a lot of people. Mm-hmm. What is the biggest life lesson you've learned, and what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Life lesson. Jeez, Dylan. Biggest life lesson that I've learned. It's all about relationships. One of my biggest mistakes is focusing on my business goals so much that I jeopardize my personal relationships. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, right? My goal is to make this, but your mom calls you to go to this event with her church buddies, and you're like, nah, ma, I ain't got time for you. Your mom, bro? Like, that's the type of things that I was doing, you know? So I watched myself go from having really strong personal relationships to just being associates with my friends and family, you know what I mean? So my biggest life lesson is to cherish those relationships. You never really know when's the last time you're gonna see somebody. And of course, these last couple of years have taught us that.
Yes.
You don't know when the last time is you're gonna see that particular person. So why do you wanna end this on an argument? Why do you wanna end this on a grudge? You know, so, and even in business, relationships are everything. So you wanna make sure you're a man of integrity or a woman of integrity. And you treat people, it sounds so corny, you treat people how you want to be treated, you know? So that's why I get offended when people do me wrong. I'm like, I would never do that to you, you know? So my biggest life lesson is to maintain those relationships.
Awesome. What is what's an inspirational quote? Because I know you got 100,000 of them. Man wrote a book about it. Bestseller too, by the way.
Biggest inspirational quote, there's a lot. There's a lot. So I'm an introvert, believe it or not. I actually don't like sharing personal stuff. I like to keep my stuff to myself. And there was one day when I first started motivational speaking, believe it or not, I hated the term motivational speaker. I was like, man, there's so much weight and pressure in that title. That's like saying I'm a comedian. You're like, well, make me laugh. So I didn't want to be in situations where I'm like, I'm a motivational speaker and someone looking at me will motivate me. So I was scared of embracing that term. And what I realized I was doing was I was doing surface level stuff. And in that surface level motivation, so to speak, I wasn't impacting anyone. It wasn't until I became vulnerable in sharing my story, I started impacting others. And it came from a conversation with God. I was like, well, I've experienced all these things. I was one handshake away from being in the gang. I was a big follower. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be all these things that I wasn't. And I made it to a point in my life where I started to become a leader, and I just literally ignored all that stuff in the past. And I wanted to motivate, but I wasn't making an impact. God literally said to me, don't be ashamed to share your story. It will inspire others. Once I let my guard down, it unconsciously gave other people permission to do the same. So now I started sharing with predominantly kids, I'm a youth motivational speaker. So I started sharing with kids how I used to be a follower. I used to roll with dudes in gangs. I used to never want to turn in my homework, even though I knew that I understood the assignments. And all these kids were coming up to me saying, hey man, I'm hanging out with the wrong group of friends too, man. How do I stop? And they were leaning on me for advice, but it wasn't until after I was vulnerable with them and let them know who I was. So the biggest quote that shaped my life is don't be ashamed to share your story. It will inspire others.
That's awesome.
People like Dylan and lean on his confidence, right? Lean on his ability to walk in the room and introduce himself. So many people don't understand how to network. Like, we were in rooms where literally every resource that you need is in that room.
Yeah.
And the fact that everyone was able to walk away knowing who you are, that's a big deal. You know, that's something I can lean on. So make sure, especially in rooms like this, you never know who you sit next to, right? So if you walk in, right, they're looking around now. So if you walk in not knowing someone, make sure you introduce yourself to someone. 2021 and 2020 has been rough. Share a compliment, a word of encouragement to someone. That can go a long way. You never know who's depressed. You never know who just lost a relative. You never know who just needs a pick-me-up. So introduce yourself, network with that Dylan mentality. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just treat people with kindness. I
learned that somebody always has it worse. So who am I to think, one, when I can't figure something out, that I was the first one? I would have a really big head if I thought I was the first one to have the problem. So look it up and figure it out. But know that you can use your resources to figure out the issue. There's no shame in using your resources, but you are not the first one, I can promise you that. And know that somebody always has it worse when you're having a bad day, and that everything you have is a luxury. So like, I go to the gym every day, not because I have to, because I get to, because there's somebody out there who was in a car accident or a house fire and got paralyzed, used to work out every day, and they can't now. So why would I not work out today? Because I might not be able to work out tomorrow. Thank you.
Yo, give it up for Dylan, man. Come on.